Welcome back. It is 1594. So exciting. And in the last one, we had Luke and Saphronia move out on their own. We had Gwen reconnect with Magdalena. We had Genevieve start to get to know Zachariah. So we got a lot going on. This year we only have one birthday. It's Wyman Hobart. He can't get a 2, 4, or a 6. He did not. He's going to survive to join the club. And then, let's see, are any townie birthdays? Doesn't look like it. Okay, one birthday it is. So let's get right into it then. Alrighty, so we are here back in our old household because, of course, we still have some things to wrap up for a few years here, but we're going to make some progress today. And what we're having here is Gwen really thinking about her future with Magdalena and just wanting to be together. For some reason, my game is already not letting me, have people get married as teenagers again, so I don't know what's up with that, but we're gonna just age her up so that she can. So she's gonna have a conversation with Constance and basically say, like, are we gonna be happy? Like, what's my future look like? And so Constance does do a reading for her and basically tells her that everything is going to be just fine. She's going to be very happy, and everyone is going to live happily ever after in regards to her relationship. So actually, I did forget to put their relationship on the thing. But yes, so what we're going to have is these two get together, spend some time together, really just enjoy each other's company and really just, do the thing because I want them to get married today. So they are both very excited about their future, and they've spent some time together and they feel good about where they're at. And of course, I was going to propose to you and then you proposed to me. So that's totally fine. But it's just great. These two are doing great. They get a gold on their date. Everything is just wonderful. And we're going to actually head over to the church and have them elope because, of course, they're both women. So that wouldn't really, be a thing at this time. But they are going to make their commitment to each other and feel good about that. So here we go. Just adding in the next baby for Marie. Marie did have her second child with William, which is all the children they were going to have together. And it was a boy, and he did survive. So he does actually have an heir that is not Yasmina's child. So that is fine. So moving on, again, we're going to head to the church, spend some time together there. I actually probably should move her. Okay, she has 2 years left before she becomes an adult. I should put her on our actual family tree. That would be a thing. So, Magdalena Verduzco. Yeah, I'm filling this out as we do this. Anyway, so yes, they get engaged, they get married. It's very nice, and I'm very happy for the two of them. I want them both to be happy. We don't have a lot of Sims that are able to just be happy and live a happy life, and she's been through so much. Like, Gwen has been through so much, and so just the ability to be together and live happily ever after and all of that is just really, really great, and I'm very happy for them. So we're going to go back to our house now that we've gotten that out of the way. And I don't know why he continues to wear clothes that are not appropriate for the time period, but we're just going to accept it. And then we have Gwen coming to tell Nick what she's done, and she's basically going to tell him, Magdalena and I are committed. We've, married in the same way that I'd say Nicholas and Arun are married in that time period. So she tells Nicholas, and he's so happy. He's so excited. He's just really happy that his children are happy. That's something that he felt really strongly, is that he just wants to make sure that all of his kids get to live the lives that they deserve and that they want, and that, he couldn't initially give to them, and he felt really bad about that. So they are just having this conversation because they are kind of two peas in a pod, these two. So they're very similar to each other, and they acted and behaved very similarly to each other. So I think that, he totally understands her and is very excited for the next phase of her life. But her and Magdalena are going to go off and, be quote unquote roommates. So that is going to be really great for everyone, and they're very happy about that. So in the meantime, I'm going to have Genevieve and Zechariah try and get closer. Now, he actually turns down her hangout. He turns down her date. He turns down everything. He does not want to hang out with us. So I'm going to invite him out separately. And just, hope he sticks around. So these two are trying to get to know each other better. Their families are pushing them together and everything. And guess what? I have no idea what the deal is, but they got a table. They got a table at the restaurant. That has not worked for me for some time, so I am just excited that they were able to get a table. So, yes, they got the table at the restaurant. They're having dinner together, and honestly, she's embarrassed. It's awkward. They don't have good compatibility. I think these two are just kind of going together because of their families, and they both they'll be content. I don't think they're madly in love or anything, but they'll be content to be together and be happy. And so they're both, just enjoying each other's company as best they can. They do become good friends, but it is tough to get their relationship up. It's not smooth sailing. It's not easy. They don't click. So all of that stuff is true. And then guess who's at the restaurant right now? Her ex, who apparently is having a weird thing with Huey, friends to lovers thing. But yeah, so Jose, her ex, is here, and he sees her out on a date with Zechariah, and he immediately takes the opportunity to be mean and to kind of, make comments about the situation and about them, and basically says oh, is she already put out for you, and all this really demeaning and mean and horrible stuff. And so she immediately runs away. She is, I gotta get out of there. She doesn't even say bye to Zechariah. She just bolts. She's oh, of course Zechariah is going to take his side. He's going to believe what he says and all this stuff. And she just is humiliated and she runs away. So that happened. Poor Genevieve. And then later we have Constance having a vision, a psychic vision of a threat against the queen. And so she immediately calls Zechariah, who was coming here anyway to see Genevieve, because he was oh my gosh, is she okay? And he follows her home, but then gets sidetracked by Constance being I just had a vision. The queen is going to get assassinated. We got to do something right now. And he's oh, okay. He totally gets pulled aside and forgets about why he was supposed to be there in the first place, which is not good for you, my guy. But anyway, so Constance is this is our opportunity. We already talked to her about helping her out, and if we can really help her out, then we're going to get rewarded and all this stuff. And, Constance really just wants to leave her family and the people she cares about better than she, when she was, not better than she found it, but you know what I mean? She wants to help improve their lives as best she can before she moves on to the other world. And so she's going to get together with Zechariah and the queen, and they're going to tell the queen all about the whole situation and everything, and about some noble person who is planning on assassinating her and all this stuff. And so she is listening to them and, paying attention to what they're saying, because, Constance has already proved her psychic skills, and they just need to do something that is going to get them, tangible results so that the queen can justify giving Zechariah a title. And so they tell her about the assassin, and she sends her men to go retrieve whoever it is, and it turns out that there was a plot, and I'm not going to show all that because I don't even know what I would do with that in The Sims. But she is basically going to make all those things happen as she leaves the room to go handle it, and the Don't Wake the Llama just blew up. But yes, so it turns out that it was an actual plot, and because they foiled it, the queen is going to grant Zechariah the title of Viscount. So that is how he is going to, improve his station. And of course, his whole family will be very excited by that. His father doesn't have a title or anything, so they are going to be very happy about him being able to move up in the world and, bring a lot of reputation, good reputation to their family and stuff. But then after that, we just have Zechariah and Constance hanging out because of, everything is getting handled right now. And they're best friends. They've been so close. They have an easygoing relationship. It always clicked for them. It's really depressing that they couldn't get married and live happily ever after and have lots and lots of kids. And so Constance also it's tough. I don't want to make Constance out to be a bad person, because obviously what she's doing is not something a good person does. You don't hit on your sister's betrothed. But he was her betrothed first, and she's just never gonna, she'll never have been in a relationship. She'll never have kissed anyone. She'll never have woohooed anyone. She'll never have had the opportunity to live the life she was supposed to live. So I think that, the two of them, they click, and then they just kind of, you know? And so obviously this is not a good thing to do to Genevieve, who is trying really hard to, get married and all that. And so Constance, like, even though she's glad that she did it because she didn't want to move on to the netherworld without have at least, had a romantic entanglement, she does feel guilty about, betraying her sister. And she just tells him, like, look, we both know that there's nothing that is going to be between us. Like, we're not going to ever be able to be together because I'm a ghost and I'm dead. And so because of that, like, we should just be friends. We really should. Like, we can't, that was bad. That was a mistake. We shouldn't have done that. But, let's just be friends. And you go comfort my sister. Like, go and go back to my sister right now, and you need to take care of her. And of course he promises that he'll take good care of her sister and everything, but like, they're not going to be in love. It's just kind of the way that marriages had gone sometimes back then, is that like people would just get married out of convenience or because of familial relationships or anything like that. So I feel like I do have a lot of sympathy for Constance, who died very young and never got to live the life she was supposed to live. But like, also, girl, like, go find someone else, if not your sister's fiance. So anyway, moving on, we are back in our main household now. And I guess technically Nicholas is our main household, but he already died once, so we're just going to move on from him. So we're here with Saphronia and Luke, and they're actually doing okay because we haven't been playing with them for them to argue with each other. But yeah, so they're just, again, having this conversation where Luke wants to go and travel and learn things and do things, and it's just like not. Sophronia doesn't want that. She's like, we're having a baby. You need to be here. You're not, like, it's really, when we first put these two together, I was like, wow, they click. Everything is so great. And I'm realizing that apparently that wore off, like, where at the beginning they were like, wow, everything is perfect. We're meant to be together. And then they got married, and now it's just like kind of unraveling, like, they are arguing all the time. They're fighting with each other. She's being difficult. He's being difficult. Neither of them wants to budge on their stance. And they're both just like being difficult, and it's not going well. So Luke is like sick of arguing with her. So he is actually going to go out with his friend Hugh, and Hugh Venian. They were really good friends as children. They kind of have drifted apart a little bit, but he's really the closest guy friend that Nicholas has. So we are going to have them go out for a few drinks. He can let off some steam, kind of vent to his friend about his situation, and, complain about his wife and basically be like, ever since she got pregnant, it's been so much worse. Like, she's saying now that we're having a baby, like, I really can't go anywhere and all this stuff. And, they're just going back and forth and kind of letting Luke vent about his problems. Actually, is Hugh married? Like, is he? Let's see. No, where am I? Nicholas, Arun, Watira. Oh, Hugh is our half brother, and no, he is not married. Anyway, so basically, they're just why are there, the bears are just getting in the way of this. The bears. But yeah, so he's just going to complain to his friend and, have this whole kind of situation. I was wondering why they could have a family relationship. That's so funny. But yeah, so he's just venting. They're blowing off some steam, just trying to, figure it out before he goes home and back to the situation that he's in, because he is not happy right now. Like, he's really not having a good time because of all the arguments that they've been having lately. And he's just like, he's resentful that she's not supporting his dreams. She's resentful that he doesn't want to be around for their family. It's just not a good situation. And I'm actually kind of sad, because when we first got them together, I really thought they were going to be like soulmates. And now I realize that that's not the case according to the game. And that is more drama. So I guess I am having a good time with it. But still. So, meanwhile, we're going to end that gathering and send him home. I don't know why you came up here to read a book, but we're going to send him home now, back to your wife and your new house that we really haven't gotten to play in very much at all. And so I'm going to have him research archaeology. He's just going to kind of shut himself in his office and be um, doing his research and everything because that's his dream. He wants to do archaeology. He wants to uncover temples and all this stuff. And you can see like she comes over to him and like he's not really paying her much attention, and like he's just kind of fallen right back into the habits that like Marie broke up with him over. Like so he didn't really change at all, I guess. He thought he did, but then he did not, because he just immediately, when things started getting tough, just kind of isolated himself once again. So what's going to happen next is that we're also going to have the baby this year. So the baby is going to be born. But what we're going to do next is, so Hugh, who is Marie's brother, during like a family dinner or something with their family, the Venians, that he ended up like, she kind of was fishing for information, and he ended up telling her that Luke was not super happy in his marriage. And Marie's like, oh, like she is interested in that because she wanted to be with him. Like, she's so weird because I say that as if I didn't make her do everything. Oh my gosh. And immediately they didn't even speak and he queued up to try for a baby with her. Are you kidding me? I think that Marie just like kind of views Luke as like the one who got away. I think she was kind of hoping that by breaking up with him and like kind of trying to play hard to get and make him see and make him change, and then he didn't, and then he did for someone else, and then she was mad and jealous. And anyway, so she always had a thing for him. He had a crush on her. So when he sees her, he's out like drinking again, I guess, because he can't stand being at home right now. And so he sees her and they're chatting, and they're having a few drinks, they're having a good time, and she kind of is telling him all the right things, like, oh, I can't believe she wouldn't support you. If I was your wife, I would have supported you. Like, we should, it should have been us, like all this stuff. And Luke is kind of like, did I make a mistake? Like, did I marry the wrong person? Should I have married Marie? And so they're just, twice in one video, huh? But yeah, so Marie's saying all the right things, the nectar is flowing, and the two of them end up woohooing. So that is also not good. Bad Luke, bad Marie. You guys are bad. Again, I do not condone any behavior of my Sims. I am just trying to make their lives as messy as possible. And she did get pregnant, even though they just woohooed, and I'm like, whoa. It took me like 10 times to get Saphronia pregnant, and then Marie got pregnant right away. So he's going to come home and sleep it off, but like he got her pregnant with a boy too. Oh my gosh. I wonder. Okay, so we're going to see if Saphronia has a boy. Like, who would be like his heir? What if she has a girl? Like, oh my gosh, I don't know. But like, obviously illegitimate children don't count, and he's not actually married to Marie, he's married to Saphronia, and they are actually getting really flirty and happy with each other right now. And so I think that, he probably slept it off, and then he was like, uh-oh, like that was really bad. That was a big mistake. And so he's trying to make it up by being overly affectionate and loving towards his wife. They are just woohooing over and over and over again. These two, I didn't even tell them to do that. So he must be trying to make it up for it, because that is interesting. And then we're just having him do his research again and having her deal with like the final stages of her pregnancy. And I don't know what to do. I was kind of thinking, like, should we give her a different aspiration or something? I don't know, but we'll come back to that. And then so we're here, and then he actually gets invited out by Marie. So Marie invites him out to a restaurant for a date, and for some reason I can't get a table again. I just don't know what's going on with this game. I have no idea. So we can't get a table today, but okay. And then yeah, so him and Marie are not being very subtle. They're like kissing in the middle of the restaurant and everything, and he just like, I think he came here to be like, look, Marie, that was a mistake. We shouldn't have done it. And then like, he's feeling very flirty. She's feeling very flirty. They're just feeling flirty, flirt. And like, this guy, you are going to ruin your life, and I'm here for it. So yes, they are really not supposed to be doing this, but they are. And I mean, he has good compatibility with her, but then he gets like a notice or like someone comes and tells him that Saphronia is having the baby right now. So of course he rushes home because she's having the baby. So we are going to have our baby, and it is a girl. It's a girl, and she survives. So she survived, and we're gonna name her Isabella. And so she is very very cute, and we are very excited to see her. So here she is. She's not going to become an infant until next time, but I am very excited that we now have a baby in the household. Our first baby, Isabella. Our second baby apparently will be with Marie, but they're not going to know that. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, so we're very excited about that. We're gonna then do the birthdays, and of course, as typical for me, I did not do well with updating the spreadsheet, so there were more birthdays than I initially thought. So the birthdays for this year are Wyman Hobart, who is a child, William de Mohun IV, who was born and became an infant. Unfortunately, Saphronia Hobart passed away, and then Angelo de Mohun II became a toddler. So yes, I messed up the spreadsheet, but that is fine. We're just gonna roll for them right now and call it good. So that is what is going on there. And next year we'll have Isabella age up, and I'm very excited to see where all this goes because this is just wild. I did not anticipate a lot of this, but I think it's fun. The game always kind of throws us a curveball, and we can roll with it. So let's do that, and I'll catch you in the next one.